Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, if you're a returning guest, welcome back. For today's video, we're gonna be doing the all about my eyeshadows palette tag. This tag was created by two YouTubers. I believe it was Samantha something, I don't know her last name, I'm sorry. But the other YouTuber is Allie Glines. I do watch her. She is definitely an OG YouTuber. She's so calm, relaxing to watch on YouTube. Well, this tag already has multiple questions. I am linking down the questions below if you wanna go ahead and start your own tag. I have all my palette questions written down here. Firstly though, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Just take one quick moment. It's one click away. It's right there. If you like the video, please do give it a like. So let's go ahead, stop rambling, and let's get started to talk about palettes. Okay, this is actually kind of hard. So for the first question, what is my newest palette? This is my newest palette. This is the NYX Modern Dreamer palette. It's brand new. I probably have only used it one time. I created a forest green smoky eye look with that. And let me tell you, the colors of this palette are so beautiful and pigmented and so easily blendable. I love this palette. I can't wait to start using this more often. All right, next question. What is your oldest palette? My oldest palette is this one here. This is the Urban Decay 15-year anniversary palette. I did a video using this palette, which is using expired makeup. Yes, the palette is expired. Surprisingly, the shadows blended to perfection in that video. Go check it out if you haven't checked it out yet. All right, for the next question, what is my most expensive palette? My most expensive and barely used palette is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Normina palette, volume 3. And honestly, it's barely used because these colors to me are super beautiful. They're very, very nicely pigmented, but they're so difficult to, I don't know, create an eye look with it because it has so many colorful looks. It's kind of intimidating. So I have barely used this palette, but I definitely should start using it more often. It's about $65. It's definitely my most expensive palette. I don't think I'll go any more expensive than that. Next question, what is your most affordable palette? This was a Sephora Arctic Eyes palette. This palette originally retailed over the holidays for $12, but I got it for like $3. I got like an extra 20%, an extra 30, 40, 50%. It's actually my most hated palette. I don't use this palette. I don't like it at all. I don't care for it. I just have it there. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever use this again. It was actually in my makeup fails video, so there you go. Next, what is my everyday palette? So for everyday, I love this palette. This is the Nude Mood palette from ColourPop. It is so beautiful. It has the most perfect neutral warm tone looks. This vanilla shade right here, the color Bluffin', is so beautiful on the lid. It just looks like a normal cool tone color, but when you apply it on the lid, it's so, I don't know, buttery, blendable, and it's beautiful. I love ColourPop shadows. Next, my smallest palette. You makeup lovers all probably have the same one as a smallest palette. I don't know what's smaller than this. These are the e.l.f. bite-sized mini shadows. It's actually the most probably affordable one as well. These are $3. So these are super beautiful. They're definitely gorgeous and pigmented and I love them. But yeah, this is the smallest palette. What is my biggest palette? My biggest palette are all my Morphe palettes. I mean, I'm just gonna go with one of them. This one, the Morphe 305 palette. I think this has 25 shadows. Yeah, that's all there is to know about that. It's huge. What is your palette with the best memory? This one. This is the Milani Pure Passions palette. It's actually been used quite often. When I first started my YouTube channel, my second video was an everyday drugstore makeup video, so it was only using drugstore products. Because I started my YouTube channel, I was so excited to just buy makeup and test out products. This was kind of like my first makeup buy for a video. I've never been so excited in my life to do a drugstore video and to finally have a YouTube channel. It just hits home for me. I would use this also every single day for work. I love this palette. Palette worth the hype. Okay. Palette worth the hype. Okay. I keep saying okay like it's okay. I think the palette that was definitely worth the hype is the original Jaclyn Hill Volume 1 palette. This was actually the very, very first palette before she changed the cover of it. So this was the first palette. The colors are so beautiful and it's just like the perfect palette that has fun pops of colors, also beautiful neutrals, also warm tone neutrals. You have glitters, you have everything here. Palette's definitely worth the hype. Always in my heart forever. Palette not worth the hype. Sorry, I have to go with the Too Faced chocolate palette. This is the Too Faced semi-sweet chocolate bar palette. I know this is pretty old, but I just feel like back in the day, anything that was hyped up, you'd go out and run and get it. I honestly barely ever use this palette. You could do it with the exact same look with any other palette. All these other palettes that you have that are so much cheaper, but this was like $50. I don't feel like it's worth it when it's something super expensive. Maybe the Pat McGrath ones are more worth the hype. I don't know. That's all I gotta say about that. Favorite palette from favorite brand. I have so many palettes. I don't know what's my favorite one. My favorite palette from my favorite brand, it's gonna be the Milani Soft and Sultry palette. I love Milani, I love Drugstore. This is a gorgeous palette to create nice sultry looks for the evening. So that's pretty much it for that. Most used palette, this was hard. My most used palette is the Master palette by Mario with Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have not hit pan on this palette. I haven't done them in any eyeshadow palettes actually, but this is definitely my most used palette. It's perfect for your everyday. Formula is incredible, the blendability. I feel like this palette is super worth the money. It's about $50, but it's so worth it. And it's easy, it's travel friendly, it's very small, you can carry it with you anywhere. I love just blending that into my crease, blending these two colors into my crease, doing this outer corner here. And then if you want to add a little pop of blue, you can. I always will go back to this palette. This is probably my most used palette. For my most colorful palette, it's going to be the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. Honestly, look at this colorfulness. So perfect for the spring and the summer. Well, it really compares to the first one. I still feel the first palette though is still slightly better. Gorgeous, full of colors. Love the colors. You could do a honeybee look over here. You could do a gorgeous springtime look here. You could still do everything. So love this palette. All right guys, that is it. This completes my all about my eyeshadow palettes tag. This was super fun to do, super hard actually, because you want to pick one but you could use that same one for all the different questions, but that's the point of the tag. Hope that you enjoyed the video as well. If you did, please do give it a like, subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.